AJ, thank you very much indeed for talking to us this afternoon. Now, I want to come on to talk about boxing in just a moment, but firstly, I want to ask you about the breaking news from last night about Tiger Woods. You cited him as your inspiration. What was your reaction when you heard the news of his car crash?
I actually watched his documentary like 2 weeks ago, and what a phenomenal talent. And it just shows the importance and like how much importance he has in his industry and how much people care. So I hope he's well. I'm praying for his well wishes. And then anyone that's around him as well, I hope they can send that message to him and just say he's got so much love and support.
You are finally expected to fight Tyson Fury later on this year. What's the latest? You've been teasing us on social media.
Yeah. I try not to do too much teasing. It's coming close to the point where things are getting back to normal. So we're working towards a date around June. And if Tyson is serious, which I think he is, he'll know where to come and fight the boss. And I'm ready. I'm really looking forward to competition. All I want to do is fight. I can't wait to get back in the ring.
So June potential date. Boris Johnson announced this week restrictions in England going to be lifted later on in June. Is a fight on home turf completely off the table? Are we looking at the Middle East?
Any option. Home turf, Middle East, my back garden, your back garden, I don't mind where it is. I'm just ready to fight. I want that belt. I want to compete with Tyson Fury. So honestly, all options are open to me.
And what about in front of fans? How important is it to you to have a big crowd there?
It was a blessing to have 1,000 people in attendance. I fought last year, December 12th. And even though it was like 1,000 fans, it makes a big difference. So to hopefully get to 10,000, 20,000, and then the whole world being back to normal, having like 90,000 to 100,000 people in the stadium, I can't wait. I can't wait to rock the show and bring some entertainment back into people's lives. How
has lockdown been for you? You're living with your mum. Are you homeschooling as well? What's it been like?
You go through different transitions. 1 minute, like, it's super dad schedules, and then there's a bit more freedom. Then there's that point of, do I actually like my life? When you're sitting there after like 3 months of doing the same thing, do I actually like my dog? You start questioning everything around you. But then you come to realization that it's a time that we're all in together and there is an outcome to this situation.
The pandemic's obviously had a huge impact on professional sports, but I wanted to ask you about grassroots sports and the impact that it's had. Amateur clubs playing a huge role in communities and shaping young lives, needed more than ever at the moment.
Now it's time for like people who these kids look up to kind of take lead and try and do certain incentives to keep them motivated. So like we done a project where we went to my local school, we done like a training program for kids, we done some stuff for boxing, we helped with doing Zoom calls for some certain kids that are having problems in school, because obviously the whole transition from being at school to now Zoom calling, like my little niece, I live with her and she's got to be on a Zoom call at 7, she sleeps at 6 and wakes up at 6:59 to get on a class, and it's like keeping them motivated to keep a good discipline. When I first got into sports, it wasn't about the competitive edge. I have that anyway, like most people, but it was more about the mental health aspect where I wanted to cleanse my body, cleanse my mind, put my mind into something positive. So even like with the sun coming out now, going on a run, going on bike rides, it will make such a big difference. And also seeing the light at the end of the tunnel leading towards summer.
There's real concern about vaccine hesitancy in Black, Asian, minority ethnic communities. Is that something you're seeing, and what do you think we can do about it?
Just have these conversations, bring the light to people. I think it's good if people who have had the vaccine discuss their experience with it, and then it will encourage people who haven't had the vaccine to understand what it takes and what the importance is of taking the vaccine as well. So I think what the main goal is, all getting out of this together and moving towards normal times.
One conversation that you have taken part in, Black Lives Matter, you took part in the march in Watford last year. I wonder what you think about Wilfried Zaha saying he's no longer going to take the knee because he considers it to be degrading. Do you see where he's coming from?
I feel like everyone's entitled to their view, so I have to understand where he's coming from because that's his own specific view. And I understand the people that do take the knee as well, because it's bringing awareness to a situation that people have been trying to fight for many, many years. It's just about unity, not about because this person chose one route and this person chose another, I don't appreciate or respect them. It's just about respecting people for their individual views and coming together and just understanding one another. Person who wants to take a vaccine, respect you, and person who doesn't, respect you. Come together and have a conversation, and we respect each other for our independent views.
Yeah, now the IOC have said no political protests, and they consider taking the knee to be a political gesture at the upcoming Olympics. It's a global stage. It's a really powerful place to make a statement. What would you do if you were there this time around?
If it was something that my teammates and all of us have made a conscious decision to do, I'll be in support of something positive like that, if I'm honest with you. If it's all for positive change, I would definitely take the knee.
At this stage, the plan is they are going ahead in Tokyo. Can you see it happening?
I can see the Olympics happening. I'm close to the boxing industry, and I speak to my coach, who's head of the Boxing Olympic Committee, and he says it's going to go ahead and the kids just need to kind of stay motivated. I feel like it's tough for them because they've spent a year and a little bit more not knowing what they're going to do with their careers. Do I turn professional? Do I stay amateur? The thing with boxing is that if you can stay amateur and you can conquer the amateur game, you can become one of the leading figures as an amateur, Olympic gold medal, world champion, European champion. It's like you're penciled on to go into the professional game and conquer. So they want to go there and prove how good they are. But with everything going on, they feel like time isn't on their side.
You said last month you might only have 5 years left in boxing.
Only 5 years left.
Does it feel like a long time ahead? What would you like your legacy to be, and what else will you do? What next?
My legacy would be for people not to understand what I mean today, but to grow to acknowledge some of the positive things I try to make a change. I don't really ask for much. I don't think I can do much for everyone, but if I can spread positive messages and bring a smile to people's faces, like yourself there. Like I say, I've done a good job.